Welcome to the Eclectic Collection. I hope that you have always been an eclector, and if you're not, then you should sign up to be an eclector and listen to the Eclectic Collection all the time. I have an interesting story today. This is episode 90. So close, so close. Just 10 left. I can't even believe it's been over 2 years and we're only up to 90 episodes. But anyway, I was going in a different direction there. See what I did? And I'm calling this one Potty Puzzle. Yep, you heard it. Potty Puzzle. Now don't get all nervous because it's just not what you think. But I had a little bathroom crisis I'd like to discuss. And I'm kind of angry about it, and I would like to vent. And if you are the person listening that caused the Potty Puzzle, then I want you to know that you're a coward, and I hate you, and everyone there hates you too. So, let me explain. I had a party, and it wasn't a big deal. I was just kind of celebrating, birthday, whatever. Had some friends over. Just at the house, no big. Food, drink, etc., friends, fun. Little cake. No big deal. And I would say at max capacity, it was maybe, 20, 25 people total at the highest point. It was not a very big gathering. More of a soiree, if you will. So it started in the afternoon. Everybody's chowing and having fun and munch. No problem. Somewhere around 2 hours into the party, I noticed that some of my friends disappeared and they weren't returning. And I was looking for them because I was thinking, we could use some more forks and I need some more ice. And as they disappeared, they would collectively reappear, grab another friend, and then disappear with more people. So I started to feel like I was in a season of Lost. And after a while, I grabbed my phone and while talking to a buddy, texted them, "Where are all of you? Where'd you guys go?" And I wasn't getting quick responses or "there's a situation" is what I'm hearing. And I got really nervous because I thought, okay, what's happening? Well, then someone came back from the store to bring in some ice and whatnot, looking for help. And they were abandoned. And then they got sucked into the vortex. And at this point now, no one is helpful at all. And I'm just sitting with a bunch of people. And I keep seeing people get up, leave my kitchen, and go to the little side hallway where the guest room is. And come back, powder room, come back, but quickly coming back. And I thought, wow, is there that much of a backup? But I never really thought anything else was happening. I actually thought everybody was just outside and having a good time and chatting and just avoiding doing some work. But eventually I get a text message. Situation. Trying to take care of it. Out of control. Problem in the bathroom. And I'm like, uh-oh. And I immediately thought it wasn't the powder room. I thought it was the rest of the house and not where the guests were. But no, I can't get that lucky. So it turns out that I find this out over an hour and a half after I'm completely uninformed and there's this backstory going on. And someone, and I don't know still who it is, so this is ridiculous. This is bad as, many episodes ago when we were trying to find the person that cut my sister and I off when I was 12 years old. And if you're out there, JUR848, I'm still looking for you too. But anyway, I'll never let that license plate go. I digress. I get a panic set of text messages from multiple friends telling me there's a problem with the bathroom. Oh my God, what are we going to do? And I said, well, what's happening? So I clandestinely leave and walk out a different door to go meet up with this posse of people that's trying to scramble to fix the bathroom. As it turns out, my sister happened to be waiting to use the facilities. And she was waiting an awful long time. So then she asked some of the guys, hey, did you get to use the bathroom? No, I've been waiting too. There's a line. A line, which she said, well, somebody's been in there a really long time. And only noticed when the door opened and closed. It had closed and not opened for a while. So we're talking over half an hour. And this was nothing good that can be happening. Then she starts hearing these noises and lots of water and some banging sounds and things falling and this terrible so there's all sorts of icky and splashes and that can't be good. So everyone's on red alert to try and find out who this mystery guest is that's doing God knows what in my toilet. And they somehow, because everyone just had to go so badly, everyone that was on watch, just as convenience had it, left, went and used another bathroom in the house. And by the time they got back, that person escaped. But here's what is ridiculous. Whoever it was left the status of the toilet in such disarray that you should be ashamed of yourself. Not only was the toilet itself destroyed on like so many levels, I'll let you visualize that yourself. However, there was a flood, an all-out flood that has now started coming up in my subsequent shower, and luckily the sink never got affected. But whoever this was clearly tried to make amends with the toilet, but it didn't work out. And there was a bizarre array of floaties, and it's not what you think, because whatever was going on there went away and came up in my shower. So that's fun. And they clearly ate too much. That's all I'm saying. Now, here's the other part. It overflowed, so they obviously tried to plunge, hence the slurpy, splashy sounds. They didn't very, I would say the plunging was not very cleanly. So there's now splish splash toilet water all over, and then it went over and above the toilet line. So you know what they did? They just closed the lid, turned off the light, and walked away. Like nothing happened. Like, wasn't me. That is ridiculous. First of all, who are you, and do you have a soul? That's my question. Who leaves a problem? I mean, did you watch X-Men Wolverine Origins when he accidentally slices the sink with his blades in his hands? He can't help it, and he comes out with the sink like, look, my bad, I did it, I'll fix it tomorrow. Okay, you gotta own it. When things like that happen, I get it. Everyone's embarrassed about bathroom trauma. It doesn't always mean what you think. Oh no, life, truth is strangers in fiction. But in this case, could you maybe give me a heads up that my bathroom is flooding and there's literal funk coming up out of my shower? Could you maybe tell me that? That would be nice to know. But no, this person, an adult, I might add, not a child, not a kid, no, an adult. An adult that I have placed, based on the demographics of the party, an adult over 40 years of age. So this person has had many years to destroy other people's toilets and get away with it like the Hamburglar. Okay, what is that about? This is ridiculous. And more importantly, everyone needed to use the bathroom, and that's like the convenient bathroom for the guests, because I really didn't want them traipsing through the rest of the house. So what am I going to have them do? Here's a bucket, see you outside? No. So it was ridiculous. And just to add insult to injury, the party would get oddly interrupted because not only did people need to use the facilities, but it started to pour. So it was this almost tornado-like situation, which was making people have serious angst about driving. So this exodus happens because they either had to use the bathroom or maybe the rain would remind them of it. I don't know, but they had to go. Meanwhile, they really had to go. And then other people were coming into the party late, at which point I'm toiletless. So, my peeps went in, my sister went in, my niece went in. A lot of people tried to fix it, help out, turn off the water, plunge again. She's literally got her hand down the toilet trying to see if there's a clog, whatever. Disaster mode. Total disaster mode. So we cleaned up what we could, closed the door to the shower so no one could see all the terrible. Luckily, the sink was still functional and never really had an issue. And that extravaganza would not only take a 72-hour period, 2 plumbers, 3 emergency phone calls, and was not repaired until the tune of $1,400. But that person has yet to make their presence known. I have grilled every single person I knew was there. I have made them aware that, I'm after you, and I will find out. Now, it might not be this year, it might not be this decade, but I will find out who that person was. It's still a bad joke amongst my friends. Did you ever find out who that was? Nope. It's the Potty Puzzle, and it needs to be solved. Now, I'm not saying that you collectors out there were here in my house and caused any havoc, because obviously that's just not reasonable to think. However, I would like this to resonate with you that when you go to a facility, to a friend's house, to a country club, to a wedding, to any kind of party, whatever, do not abandon your potty post. If things go south, and sometimes stuff happens, if floods occur, you gotta look around and be smart and act quickly. There's always a valve. Now, I've had the situation where the valve was old and it broke off in my hand, and then yes, you're gonna have a flood, but then you need to run away as quickly as possible and get help. Seek people and assistants. Don't leave that. First of all, it's obnoxious and ew. Secondly, it's just disgusting. And third of all, it could be a quick fix that's now turned into a big problem. Luckily, I have a tile bathroom, so it wasn't ruining carpets and such. But that could have happened too, and it could have seeped out into the other part of the house. Luckily, it was a lower point, and it opted for the shower, which, again, of course, is tile. But that was not cool. That was not something that an adult should do. I mean, a kid shouldn't do it either, but I could see a kid not knowing enough or being afraid or whatever. That is just completely unconscionable to me, but what do I know? And just when I thought I've seen it all, I was like, people do some horrible stuff, and they're cool with it. I'm not cool with it. So that is mean, obnoxious, rude, and horrible. Do not be a part of the potty puzzle. Be a part of the potty solution. And if anything ever goes wrong, just seek help if you can't handle it yourself. Now, if you can't deal with the issue, here's my advice. Turn off the water, look for a plunger. If not, courtesy close the lid, and then close the door and find help immediately, and they'll take care of it, or at least be aware of it, so they can redirect the other guests, because it caused lots of trouble, and we're still trying to find out who that is. So if you know who the potty puzzler is, oh yeah, let me know, because I want to go give them a piece of my mind, among other things. So don't do that. It's not nice. It's mean. It's definitely not good party etiquette. Just saying. I've talked about bringing guests before. I've talked about inviting people before. I've talked about how to, wait your turn for food. I would think these things are all basic instincts, but no, this is literally the most basic of things, and it's even a problem. So sadly, that supersedes all of the other things that we've ever talked about before in the Eclectic Collection. So if you can relate to this, all I can tell you is check out eclecticcollectionpodcast.com or follow us on your preferred platform. I'm Terry Tenaglia. Thanks for listening.